Hey, welcome back. We're glad you're here. So you hung with us for the whole 21-day challenge. Again, my name is Derek Smith. I'm Dr. Cam's personal trainer. We have Dr. Cam here. We have Miss Ruby here going to join us for our final workout. Today we're going to do something a little special. We'll combine some different movement patterns, and I wanted to give you a daily dose that you can do every day for your posture, for structure. So we're going to go through the Egoscue daily routine, and then we'll dive into some more animal flows, some movements, really get the blood flowing and work on our overall mobility and strength so we can live life how we want to. All right, so today we'll go ahead and start with our shoulder circles like we usually start, right? Not too unfamiliar. So the arms will be out, good, parallel, and we use that half golfer's grip. So making our knuckles like this, thumbs back, pulling the shoulder blades back and together, and then rolling the arms forward. And we want to do 50 revolutions here. Yep, good. So we go 50 forward circles. And then we'll do 50 circles in reverse. So be sure to cover both directions. Let's see, find a better place here to get in this video. I don't want to stand too much in the way, and I don't want to be... There you go. Good job. Good job, Ruby. That's good. All right. And so you want to feel the shoulder blades come together, and the rotation is coming from the shoulder joint, not so much the elbows. Good job. All right. After we do 50 revolutions both directions, we'll keep this half golfer's grip, so putting the knuckles together. This position of the hands, neurologically, it puts the movement in our shoulders. So we're trying to reset our shoulders neurologically so that they remember how to move correctly. So next we go to elbow curls. So either the fingertips or the half golfer's grip, knuckles on the temple, and we want to touch the elbows together. So we do 20 of these where we're bringing the elbows together and bringing them apart in the back. And straighten out your feet so your feet are straight forward. There we go. Good job, Ruby. Good. So try to touch and open. Yep. Touch the elbows together. Open the arms up. Good. We'll get about 20 of those. Good job. All right. And next we'll just lay down on the floor. So we're going to lay on the floor. We're going to do some ankle circles now. So we're going from shoulders to ankles. So you'll draw the right leg up and in, the left leg will be extended out, and the left foot will be flexed in towards the ceiling. Then we're going to roll the ankle in a circle, just like you're scraping the edge, or the circumference of a bowl. Like if you think of like a spatula scraping a bowl, that's your foot. You're trying to articulate the ankle in a big circle for 15 revolutions. You'll generally feel this right about there, right in the ankle band, right where like the wristband would be, but in your ankle, you'll feel a burning sensation. And again, this is a neurological reset for the ankle. It just reminds the body that the ankle can move in a lot of different directions. Because we often walk with flat shoes on flat surfaces, so the ankle doesn't get a ton of love. This is one way to floss our ankle joint. We're doing a little bit of preventative maintenance for the ankles. They love it. So 15 each direction, and then you can switch legs. Good job. Try to straighten out your left leg, maybe if you would. Let's straighten this leg out. There you go. Good job. And then roll your ankle in a big circle. Awesome. Good work. And so we got the shoulder curls, the elbow curls, shoulder circles, and then ankle circles. And again, this is something that can be done every single day. I highly recommend doing it every day. We want to keep our ankles healthy so we're not just shuffling along. So 15 each direction. All right. And then simply enough, we'll just flip over. So come on to all fours, the quadruped, and then step forward with your right foot and go into a hip flexor stretch. So you're going to step forward with the foot, yep. And then prop yourself up on your knee. Good. And then we're just going to hold this stretch for about a minute. So this stretch, it shuts off the groin as the primary hip flexor and reminds the body what the hip flexor is. Because a lot of times we have muscles that take over and compensate for other muscles that are weak, inactive, or just locked in a certain position. So we're just holding this here, and you can think of also squeezing the glute on that side, on the left side, creating a little opening, a space in the front of the hip, and breathing into that area. If you need a prop or something to hold support yourself up with, that's also an option. You could use a couch, or ottoman, or a chair, or a staff. All right, good. We'll go ahead and switch sides. There you go, Ruby. That's good. Can you step forward a little more with your left foot? Good. Do you feel a little bit of a stretch on that right side?
Yeah.
Good. That's great. So again, all these movements are designed, we want to turn on certain muscles, we want other ones to not be so active. And it's designed to put the body in good structure. So when our body's in a good structural position, when the bones are aligned, there's no misalignments, and the joints are working properly, there's a less chance of an injury occurring. So we're setting the body up for success, in a sense, for this workout. And again, this is something you can do every day. Now we'll go ahead and come out of that. I'm going to have you sit on your bottoms, and then we're going to do a seated twisting stretch. So you'll sit, you can extend your right leg out long, cross your left leg over, foot flat on the floor, and then twist into that left leg. There you go. So you're twisting from the lumbar spine. So he's sitting really tall, twisting all the way from the base of the spine up the thoracic spine, the middle of his back, all the way up to his shoulders, and I'll have him actually look behind him. So you're getting this extra bit. This is the extra part right here where he's getting that cervical rotation, because all too often we don't have to look behind us now, so we lose that range of motion. So this is a way to touch the end range of motion in each direction. And so you don't have to really crank on yourself with this. And neurologically what this is doing, this is reminding the body that the shoulders and the hips work in opposition. You know, when we walk, we don't walk. I'm not putting my same shoulder forward as my hip. My hip's going back as the opposite shoulder's going forward. So that's what this is reminding the body of how it works. Because sometimes it forgets. Good, and as you're breathing into these stretches, you can be breathing in your nose, out your nose, more of a relaxed breath. We're not really trying to crank anything on these stretches. We're not really doing a deep stretch. All right, good, and then switch sides.
Straighten that.
Oh, yeah, let me help you. There you go. There you go.
Now face me, baby.
Uh-huh.
Oh, no. Keep your legs how they were.
Yep, can you cross this foot over here just like that? Good, and then use your right hand and put it right here on your knee and twist and face your head. There you go.
Keep your bottom. Keep your bottom on the ground.
Yep, try to keep your hips down. Alright, just a little bit longer. And then try to look behind you, doctor. Good. Let's see here, we might move this just a little bit from the back. There we go. Right, good. And so come out of there, and now to bring a nice realignment to the spine, we'll go ahead and come to all fours. So that's a quadruped position when you're on all fours on your hands and knees. And then I'm going to have him do some spinal segmentation. So this is also known in yoga, they call it cat and cow. I like cats and dogs better, or cats and camels. But he's going to try and segment his spine from his tail all the way up to the head. So ideally, we'd be able to feel each vertebrae move individually. You'll notice that there'll be parts that move in chunks, like 4 or 5 vertebrae are kind of stuck together and they move together. So over time of doing this, we're creating a little bit more articulation in the vertebrae. And as we move the joints, we're lubricating the joints, warming them up, bringing blood, synovial fluid. We're also flossing the nerves through that area, through that space. It's really beneficial. And extra credit is if you can come down here, if you can retract the scapula and bring the shoulder blades together, you get a little bit extra thoracic extension there. And some scapular mobility, some shoulder blade articulation. We're just going to go through about 10 of these. Since we just did a twisting stretch, we want to bring the spine back to a nice neutral position. And this is a great way to do it. And again, neurologically, this is bringing balance between the hips and the shoulders, between the function of how they operate together. Good job. All right. And then now the fun stuff. So now we'll come to a downward dog. So from this position, I'll just have him tuck his toes. You can tuck your toes and then bring your hips up. Good. So you're really pushing the floor away, and think of engaging your middle trap. So this area of the back right here, think of pushing that down and pushing the floor away from your head. So it's like an overhead press, like I'm pressing overhead, and I'm really active. Good. Are you slipping a little bit?
Socks off.
With the socks on, it takes a little bit extra spidey senses. There you go. Good. So we're gonna hold this downward dog for 1 minute. So if you need to come out of it, that's fine, but try to stay in it. If your heels touch the ground, that's great. They don't have to though. Good, you're doing great. Just about 20 seconds longer.
Good job, Ruby.
5 seconds. So 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay. And the last activation is the wall sit. So you can use that portion of the wall right there. You don't have to go too deep into it. You should be able to use that right there.
Wall sit like.
Just a. There you go. Ruby, if you want to try over here, Ruby, you can try sitting. So just pushing your hips against the wall and sitting down. You don't have to go too deep. That should be good there. So again, with this, I would have him bring his feet a little bit closer together so they're hip width apart. So your feet are hip width apart. The knees are behind the ankles typically, so you shouldn't feel any knee pain. If you do feel knee pain, step out a little farther away so that the feet are in front of the knees. And then you're driving the pelvis back into the wall. So this is activating the quads, and it's teaching the body how to stabilize the pelvis in a neutral position. So oftentimes you do this laying on the ground. We'll put the legs up on a box and do a static back position at 90 degrees laying on the ground, which is a passive way of doing this. It's great for allowing the spine to settle in. It's great for if you have any back pain to help the back decompress. But this is a way to actively load it. So we're vertically loading it with resistance and really engaging the quadriceps. So again, it's warming up the quads. It's teaching the body how to hold the pelvis in a neutral position. It's challenging. It's not super easy. And so the ideal is to hold this for 2 to 3 minutes. So we're not going to go that long today, but you can do that on your own. Doing good. Another 30 seconds. How are you doing, Ruby?
Good.
Awesome. Try to turn your feet straight forward if you can. And I know you can. There you go. Good. Whew. Sliding a little bit. It's a little extra challenge, right? If you're sliding away, it makes it a little harder. So you have to push and secure yourself a little differently. You have to adjust. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. All right. Good job. Woo, high five. Good work, Ruby. All right. How was that?
Good.
Not too bad? Okay. So that's your daily dose. That's 15 minutes of movement right there to set your body up for success. You can do that every single day. It becomes really easy once you do it a few times because it's not complicated, right? It's a few simple movements, but it really can have a profound effect on our body and how we hold our posture throughout the day and how we use our body. So now comes the good stuff. Now we're going to crawl. So I'm going to have him, Dr. Cam, come down to all fours. So Ruby, you can come down to all fours. Come to that quadruped again. So you don't need a lot of space to do this. That's the beauty of it. It is fun if you want to go out in the backyard and crawl around the grass or go to a park and, crawl around on all fours. You might look a little crazy, but that's okay. We don't really care too much what people think. So now from this position, you can start just crawling with your knees on the ground and hands on the ground. If this is where you're at as far as accessibility, if you can't pick your knees up off the ground, we just crawl from here. So this is the beginning stages. It's kind of like a baby crawl, right? So I'm just going to have him take some steps forward, hand, foot, in opposition. So it's contralateral. So actually start with your knees on the ground. Just do a baby crawl and try to make it really precise. So your hand and your knee hit the ground at the same time. Then go backwards and same thing. Just a little small steps, like you're creeping, like just baby steps. Good. Hand and knee are landing at the same time. And when we really focus on this, it's bringing our brain into coherent function. So it's forcing both hemispheres to work together. It's strengthening the segment of the brain that connects the two, the corpus callosum, in case you wanted to know. All right. And it's also just really increasing our ability to function better. Okay, so now we'll pick the knees up off the ground. So maybe take just about 10 paces forward. Good, knees off the ground. Notice the hips are down. The head can be up so you can see where you're going. You don't have to keep the spine stable here. That's a lot of misconception is the spine's going to move a little bit, and that kind of articulation in this movement, we're working those deeper muscles, the deep muscles inside the spine. So keep going forward and back. Good. Good. Keep going. Bring it back. One more time. So this is not easy. It looks super easy. It's so taxing. You're doing great. Good. You're doing great, Ruby. Good job. All right. So now sit in hero's pose if that's accessible for you. So we have hero's pose and child's pose. Hero's pose is actually sitting on the shin. The feet can be tucked or untucked. If you tuck your toes underneath, it's a real deep foot stretch, so be mindful of that. Even sitting in this position can be too much for a lot of people, for a lot of us with our knees. It's a deep knee bend, deep knee flexion. If that is not accessible, you can do child's pose or a modified child's pose where you sit out and put your arms in front of you, just like that. And then as far as the hips can come back, as far as the knees will allow it, that's what position you could be in. So you can modify that to any degree. And then I want you to take a breath in the nose and out the mouth. Again, breath in the nose, out the mouth. Good. One more time. Very good. Awesome. So next we're going to play with we'll do a little frog hop. So he's just going to go forward and backward in a frog hop. So if you have any kind of shoulder issues, backwards might not be the best hop for you, or best option. So you can go forward, stand up, and maybe forward 2 or 3 hops, depending on how much space you have. Stand up, turn around, and come back into it. So this is going to be a deep squat position. Good. And then he's going to reach out and load his hands in front of him, and then just small hop his feet forward with the hands. And then come back to the start position, load the hands, and then a small hop forward. So bring the hands down, load them, and then hop. There you go. Good. There you go. So you can come back. Good. Again, so 3 times. We go forward about 3 or 4 hops. Good. And it makes it a lot harder to do these with control like that, to make the movement small. So if you're limited on space, making the movement small and precise actually adds another level of challenge to it. Good. One more time. Back. Good. Now this one, see if you can get really tall in your thoracic spine. Good. And then go again. Load. Reach out in front of you. Load the hands. Go forward. 2. Good. And 3. Good. And then bring it back. 1, 2, and 3. Oh, good job. So come back to that rest position again. Come back to hero's pose or child's pose and recover the breath, taking a few breaths in the nose, out the mouth. Good. Good job, guys. You're doing awesome. All right, so the next one has to be my favorite crawling pattern. So we're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to go from the quadruped, then to the frog. So the quadruped is like a prowling panther, I think of it like. The frog hop is just a little frog hop, obviously. And then now we'll go to a stiff leg bear crawl, which is essentially a downward dog in motion. So if you come back to the same position where you were in earlier, where you tuck the toes, bring the hips up towards the sky, so he's in the A-frame right there, and then you're going to walk the same way you walked in the hand-foot crawl, the prowling panther, opposite hand, opposite foot, trying to land precisely at the same time. And you notice there's a big stretch along the whole backside of the body. We're opening up the whole posterior chain, so you go forward for about 10, and then bring it back, go backwards for about 10. We're gonna do 3 of these as well. So all these are done for about a minute. We're gonna say 30 seconds to a minute, depending on your level of conditioning where you're at. And none of this is like easy. This is all very challenging stuff. So do the best you can, modify where necessary. And even just getting in some of these positions is enough for some of you. Good. So that's 2. We'll get 1 more. Good job, Ruby. Woo! Is that hard? Yes. Your dad makes it look easy, huh? But I promise you, his heart rate's up. He's breathing hard. And this is active mobility. So we're creating space. We're actually working on mobility on the posterior chain, stretching out the calves, the hamstrings, the low back, the whole region. Even the shoulders are getting opened up here in this. All right. Good. So come back to that rest again. One more time. Either child's pose or hero's pose. But get centered. Focus on the breath. We take a full breath in and out. So that long, slow exhale helps us get more in that rest digest state. We get control over our physiology again. Good. All right. So the 4th movement pattern we do is monkey. So monkey is a side-to-side movement. It's a transition. And so this one, you don't have to have a lot of space really at all for it. It's fun to do it like when you have a lot of room and you can monkey around. So we'll start in a standing position, coming down into a squat, and then we'll reach across the body. So I'm going to reach over, load the hands, and transfer the body over onto the hands. And then from that squat, go back and forth. So if you watch Dr. Cam here, he'll demonstrate. He loads the hands, and then he transfers low. There you go. Good. And so just back and forth. So this one becomes very cardiovascular. Good. And you want to try to be as light as you can and transfer low. So you're transferring low to the ground, being light on the hands and feet.
Watch out, baby.
Good. So we're going to do this for about 30 more seconds. Take your time. It's opening up the hips, stretching the low back. Good job. All right, 5 seconds. 2 and 1. Good. All right, come to that rest position again. One more time. Good job. Woo! Good work. Good work. Taking a big breath in the nose, long, slow out the mouth. Covering the breath. Good job. Okay, so we'll go back to the start now. So now we're going to do the whole thing again. We'll shorten it up just a little bit as far as the time goes, but we're going to use a little more of the space we have here. So I'm going to have Dr. Cam crawl. So Ruby, follow him, if you will. So I'm going to have you crawl the whole square here. So we've got a square rug. I'm going to have him go the whole circumference of the square. So we're going to go forward. Good. And then turn. Yeah. Good job. So those of you that want to play with your grandkids, you want to be mobile and get on your hands and knees, this is how you do it. You get on your hands and knees. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to do it. Good. So take a break as needed. If you need a rest, that's fine. Let's see what we got here as far as getting you guys in there. Good. All right. So we're going forward. And then turn and face me. And then go sideways. So I'm going to have him crawl laterally now. So now we crawl sideways and go hand. It's still a hand-foot crawl, and it's still contralateral. So notice his opposite hand and opposite foot are going side to side. There we go. Good job, Ruby. Again, one more time. Lateral crawling. Good. Bring it back. All right. Good. Rest for just a moment. Good job. So take a breath in the nose, out the mouth. 1, Another breath fully in. Out the mouth. Good. 2. One more time. Full breath in. Out the mouth. Good job. Whew. You guys are killing it. Good job, everyone at home. Good work. Pretty hard? Yes. Working? Yep. It's good stuff. Okay. So, now we'll just come back to that frog. Let's see if we can travel a little more, get a little more distance here. So I'm going to have him reach out in front of him a little more. And again, if this isn't accessible to you, if you can just come down into a squat and hold a squat and then stand back up, that's fine. If you need to do it on a couch, that's fine too. If you need to sit on the edge of a couch, whatever you can do. But just trying to get into a deep squat here. So if you watch, he's loading his hands, he transitions forward. And this time when you come back, Dr. Cam, I'm going to have you reach out in front and pull your shoulder blades back and reach out and get your chest tall. There you go, reach out in front more. Chest tall, good. One more time, bring it back. Good job, Ruby. There you go. Good job. Good job. All right, take a rest. Good. Whew.
You do it, babe.
You're doing good. We're almost there. We're almost there.
Done, babe. Don't quit.
Take a breath in your nose, blow out your mouth. Good. And say to yourself, I can do it. Like inside your head, you can say, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. Right? We can do it. Doing good. Okay, so the downward dog in motion, again, stiff leg bear. This time I'll have him just, as he takes a step, so you can do a couple things here. You can do what's called like a bent arm bear, so you can bend the arm. I like to do that or add in a compression. I call it a compression stretch. When you compress, you're going from an A-frame like this and you're compressing it down, so I'm trying to smash my body together. So if you watch as he takes the step here, he compresses in. Chest towards the thighs, chest towards the thighs. Good. Then you can bend your arm. The arm that's back, you can bend that arm a little bit and add a little more stretch to the upper arm. You just got to be mindful of the shoulder, what mobility you might have on that arm. It can get pretty intense, but it stretches the side of the body, it stretches the posterior chain really nicely. And again, it's an active mobility position, so we're not passively stretching. We're using our body. We're forging it. We're molding it and shaping it into a new form. So our body holds the form that we use mostly. So when you use different positions, different forms, we're working on our brain, working on our neurology, rewiring new neural pathways. Good. All right, one more time. Let's go backwards, bring it back. All right, Ruby. There you go. Good job. Keep going. Keep going, Ruby. Good. A couple more steps. All right, take a break. Good. Woo. That was amazing. So good. So, Ruby, I'll probably have you come forward a little more on the carpet here. And Dr. Cam, you can stay pretty much where you are. I think you should have room. So we'll come to a little bit of this is a challenge. So if you're comfortable doing monkey, you have access to those ranges of motion, and you don't have any like really shoulder impingement, you can come to a high monkey. So it's a monkey where you're transitioning through kind of a half of a handstand. So you're trying to learn how to float through the middle position of that monkey. And so Dr. Cam will demonstrate here, and Ruby can watch him if you want, or you can try it in front here. So he's going to bring his hips up, yep, and then go back, yep. And so the lighter you can get on that landing, the more control. So this is really using a lot of the core strength, a lot of functional core muscles. There you go. Good. Good. And this is pretty intense, so we're just going to have him go back and then do one more transition. Good. Woo, one more time. Bring it back. Woo, very good. All right, rest. Woo. Take a second. Shake it out. Ruby, you good?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to do one more thing to alter our structure, to really open up our hips, because we want to have open hips, strong hips, open hips. So take a moment, catch your breath, bring it in, inhale through the nose, long, slow exhale through the mouth. So whenever we're stressed in life, we can always come back to the breath. The breath is a connection to the present moment and a tap into our physiology. So the mental reframe is that I'm choosing to not be stressed right now. I'm going to let go. I'm going to let go of control. I'm going to let go and detach from the situation a little bit and be the observer of it. And then I'm going to take a breath in, long, slow exhale. That long, slow exhale gets us back into executive function of our brain, of our mind, so that we can make logical decisions and not be reactive. We want to be responsive, and we want to consciously choose our path intentionally and not just be reactive. So the breath gets us in the position of agency where we can choose our next step consciously. So now we're going to choose to come to horse stance. So this is one of my favorite things to do because it changes our hips a lot. It builds leg strength. It's opening up the hips. So we want to come down into a deep horse stance here. So the toes will be out at 45 degrees. As Dr. Cam's doing there, you can come up on your tippy toes or you can stay flat-footed. The toes are out at 45, so they're like that. Knees will be tracking out over the toes, and then I want you to curl the pelvis up and under. So you're squeezing your butt, so we're not sticking my butt back like this. I want the hips under like this. So I'm kind of turtle shelling.
There you go.
So here I'm getting as deep as I can, and I'm turtle shelling my low back. And you can reach out in front. You can make a fist. So when you make a fist, we create more innervation. So you make a fist, pull your shoulders back, squeezing your butt, being strong here, and we're going to hold, okay? So we're going to get in this position and hold. And so, let's see here. So next Saturday, we'll be at the office. We'll be doing a workout there. And then following that workout, I'm doing a Wim Hof workshop, a Wim Hof Fundamentals workshop, which will include an ice bath. And one of the things we do after we get out of the ice bath, we do this Wim Hof hoo-ha dance where we go hoo-ha, but we get in this horse dance. So in this horse dance, we're drawing energy up the body, up into the center of our body right here, the dantian. We're creating an internal fire, an internal heat, so we can warm the body up from within. So he's sweating pretty good. He's feeling the heat right now, I promise you. We got about 20 seconds to go. Stay in it. Stay in it as long as you can. Sink down a little more. Try to tuck your pelvis under so you can get your butt forward. Knees are opening. So the knees are opening out. The pelvis is coming up and under. It's a real strong glute activation, and it's really shifting the hips. I mean, you'll feel it deep inside the hips. Just do the best you can. Here we go. Stay in it. Sink a little deeper. Almost there. 3, 2, and 1. There it is. Good job. Woo! High five again. Good job, Ruby. All right. Give somebody a high five. Pow. It's positive reinforcement. You know, it's good. It's good to high five each other. It's a good exchange of energy. All right. How are we feeling? Everybody's pretty good? All right. Good. Good job. Good work. Okay. So now we'll bring it home. So we'll do a little bit of a cool down here, some stretching. So since we've got the hips warmed up a little bit, I'll have you come to a frog. So we're going to come down onto our knees. The feet will be behind you again. And so again, in this position, instead of dumping his abdominal wall down to the ground, I want him to turtle shell. So curling the pelvis up and under like that, and then from that position, gently pushing back into the elbows, pushing the body back. So you're holding right here, and then we're just going to rock. So I'm going to have you rock back and forth for a minute. So you can just make a small little pulsing movement, just a slow rock here back and forth. And this is really great for opening the hips. You know, they say your issues are in your tissues, right? The hips hold a lot of our issues, so if we can work in this area, open them up, we can move some energy. We're bringing blood flow, synovial fluid, bringing the juice of life to the hip area. Good. Keep going. So we've got about 30 seconds left. So this is a groin stretch, stretching the adductors. The adductors tie in to the low back. So if you have low back issues, this is something great to do. Just be mindful as far as how deep you go into it. Good. A few more breaths here. Long, slow exhale. Again, full breath in. Long, slow exhale out. Good. Good job. All right, there you go. So just come forward on your stomach, lay flat on the ground, and then roll over onto your back. And then give yourself a little low back massage. So knees up. There you go. Not knees up like that. There you go. Feet up. Feet on the ground. Knees up. Windshield wipers slightly from side to side. So I just wanted to go not that far. Less movement. Do less. You're doing too much. Do less. There you go. So just so the sacrum, I just wanted to feel just a little bit of a sacrum massage. A little sacral massage on the ground there. So just a little bit of side to side, because we just did quite a bit. Want to bring a little movement there. All right, today we'll do reclining pigeon instead of a traditional pigeon. So reclining pigeon is like a pigeon reclining, it's chilling. So I'll have you cross your right ankle over your, either one, right ankle over your left knee, and then bringing that up, we'll thread the hand in this gap here. So his right hand goes through the hole, left hand goes around the outside, interlace the fingers together, and pull that leg up and in. Bring this leg up, good. And then flex this toe back. This foot can stay passive. And then as much as you can, keep the shoulders level, shoulders down. Try to keep the pelvis level. And we're going to hold this for about a minute with a nice controlled breath. We want to focus on the breath, breathing into where you feel tension. So if you feel a deep stretch in the glute and the hip area, bring your awareness there and breathe into that space with your mind. So in your mind, you feel the tension, you breathe in, you can create a little more tension on the inhale, because that's an expansion, and then the exhale is or contraction. The exhale is expansion. So inhale, contract, exhale, let go and expand. And if that feels okay, you can also straighten out this leg and get a little bit of a hamstring stretch there. Do you need some help, Ruby? Okay. Here, put this leg right there like that. Put this hand through there. Oops, other side, sorry. This way. You go behind your leg right there. Good. And grab that. Yeah, there you go. Good job. All right. So go ahead and switch sides now. So rinse and repeat. We'll bring it to the other side. Good, bless you. Because you're tight. So we'll go like this, right here. And then, yep, thread your right hand through this hole right here. There you go. Good. That's it. Perfect. Perfect.
Easy.
Is it relaxing?
Yeah.
Good. So again, the breath is fully in, long, slow exhales. We're on our back, so generally laying on your back is more of the body feels safer in that position, so it's more of a relaxed position. So you can typically let go a little bit, although this might be a pretty intense stretch for some of you. And then again, yep, with the leg up in the air, you can flex the toes back and in. That creates a little bit more pull on those nerves. The leg might be pretty intense. All right, just go for about 20 more seconds on this side. All right, awesome. Very good. Whew. So now we'll go ahead and flip over and come to a quadruped, and then we're going to do another hip flexor stretch again. This time I'm going to have you go a little bit deeper into it. So step forward with your right foot past your hand all the way out in front. There you go. And then come up onto your knee. Yeah, untuck your back toe. Good, and come all the way forward into it as far as you can. So, yes,
Forward.
there you go. You feel that in the front of the hip here?
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, so you should feel that up here. A little bit more in the top of the quad or deeper inside the abdomen. All right, we're going to hold this for a minute. We've got about 20 seconds in. I'm going to have you do a little extra credit if you want here. So just like how we straighten the leg on the other stretch with the reclining pigeon. So here, if you can grab the back foot, if you can elevate the back foot and reach back and grab that foot with the left hand, I think here might be most accessible for you.
I can't do that.
Okay. So you could bring the back foot up and grab it if that was accessible to you. So it would look like this on the knee. Want to try? So just reach back and grab this foot, so come forward. Oh, you're fine where you are. Yep, come forward a little bit. So, can you bend the leg? You gotta bend it. There you go. So just like Ruby's demonstrating here. And it makes it a lot more intense in the quad and harder to balance. All right, good. Let's go ahead and switch. So come out and switch to the other side. So, see if we can, so if we get here like this, and then I can bring this leg up and catch the foot. Oh,
Job, Ruby.
Oh. So balance is a challenge there, huh? Oh. Good job. All right. About 15 seconds more. Taking those deep breaths. Focus on opening up the hip. So like we did last time, if you wanted to, you could even reach up overhead. You can stretch the whole side body so you can get a little more opening to this area here. Get a little bit of that psoas action in there if you push the hips forward and across. Good job. All right, good. All right, so now we're gonna come to it's kind of a lazy hamstring stretch. I'm gonna have you sit on your bottom. And this is more of a restorative yoga pose, yin yoga pose. So bending the knees and a little bit less, bring your feet out. And then I'm just gonna drape over your legs. Like literally let your head tuck in, your chin tuck, the spine's gonna roll. Put your hands out to the side of your legs, palms up. And just let your arms bend, like just super natural, super relaxed. Just draping over your legs, just letting go and just breathing here. So in this space, you'll feel some tension possibly along the back. This would be a really good low back stretch for a lot of you. And also in the neck. So be mindful of the neck if you have any neck pain or neck issues. But just let the head hang, let the head be heavy, and just feel the breath through the back body here. So you'll feel the breath expanding through the back. Again, this is a really relaxed position. So we're just letting go. If you need bolsters, if you need a pillow or something underneath your chest for a little more support, that's an option. But this is a great way to decompress and just unwind. Just let go a little more. So just taking a breath in and letting out an audible sigh to yourself. Just saying it's okay. Telling your nervous system it's okay. So we want to be in control of our nervous system, right? Our nervous system oftentimes runs us. We know that. We get into fight or flight, we get into these stressful situations, and we feel like just anxious and bound up. So with the breath and our mindset and our awareness, we can get into different positions just like this and relax a little bit. Relax a little more, taking a little bit deeper breath, letting go a little more. Just letting the body be heavy, stretching. All those deep neck muscles that are overactive, they get released here. All the way down to the low back. And just about 20 seconds longer. All right, good job. So now if you just lay flat on your back, super easy. So we want to just come to stillness. So stillness is the basis of all motion of action. We can get still. We can so like in yoga, right? You have corpse pose at the end. Shavasana is what it's called. So this is like corpse pose. So we're dying to the old self and being reborn in this moment. We're letting go of what we just did, allowing the exercise, the medicine we just gave our body, allow our body to digest that. So it's taking this exercise, this medicine, this new input, and it's digesting it and assimilating it and allowing it to land in the body. And so laying here, you can have your legs out, stretched long, just like they do. If it's too much on your low back to have your legs out, because it does put you in a little bit of extension in the low back, you could have your knees bent for support or prop your legs up like we have done in the past. But just getting really still in this position, you can let the eyes shut and just focus on the breath. Just focus on the body breathing. We take a breath in the nose, out the mouth. Yawning is great. It means it's working. Good. Another breath in and out. And one more time. Take a big breath all the way in. Take a little extra sip at the top of this inhale. And blow it out, all the way out, and just let go. So for the next minute, I just want you to be still. So just pretend like you're on an ocean beach. You can hear the waves lapping up on the shore. You can feel the sun beating down on the body. But just let go. Just be completely relaxed. Notice if there's any tension in the body. Go to that area and just ask it to relax. Mentally send the signal of relaxation throughout the entire body. Honoring the body for what it is. And giving it this moment just to be still. And as usual, come to a space of gratitude, just finding some gratitude for life, for this moment, For this exercise, we got to give ourselves this medicine. I mean, we tapped into the healer within, the pharmacy within, to be expressed out. Being grateful for the body, for all the gifts that we have with it, the experience of life. And then really try to flood yourself with that feeling of gratitude. Just like, man, life is really rich. I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful to have this experience of life, to have family, friends, these connections. Just flood yourself with gratitude. So we're really working into our emotions. We can work out mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually all at once. Good. Then wiggling your fingers, your toes, bringing some movement back. And then again, realizing this moment is brand new and fresh. A great opportunity to serve, to be useful. So you can roll over to one side, roll over to your right side, push yourself up, roll over on Ruby. And that's it. I appreciate you all. We'll see you Saturday. Look forward to seeing you. Hopefully you show up for the Wim Hof event. We'll learn some more stress control techniques, learn how to dive into our physiology, and have an awesome experience jumping into the ice. See you then. Love y'all.
Bye.
Bye.